What's going on, you guys? If you're new here, my name is Morgan, and welcome back to another video. So in my last few videos, I have talked about Brecken having emergency surgery. If you have listened closely to those videos and watched those videos, I talked about Brecken needing emergency surgery. So Brecken was supposed to be my show dog. Unfortunately, that will no longer happen. We were training for a dog show. I had him with his trainer because I wasn't going to be showing him. I hired somebody else to show him, and they were putting him in doggy boot camp to show him, and unfortunately things did not go as planned. So unfortunately I received a phone call. It's been almost 2 weeks now. Yeah. I received a phone call from his trainer that said, "Hey, Brecken got spooked. I need you to come get him. He hurt himself pretty badly. His tail got caught in the fence. They had a wire fence, a metal fence, and I guess he got spooked by one of the other dogs and he jumped, or I don't really know what happened. There's no video. I'm taking their word for it. The vet says it's very possible that's what happened. The vet techs were a nightmare, saying, that's not what happened. Nah, yada yada yada. He has an infection. Vet says no infection. He could have gotten spooked and got it caught. You don't really know. It doesn't look like a dog attack. So most likely he got his tail caught on the fence and tried to yank it, and that's what happened. So unfortunately, Brecken had to go have emergency surgery because of this. So I drove over an hour to go get Brecken because he was at his trainer's house. And I do know these people. I'm very good friends with these people. And unfortunately, accidents do happen. But yeah, so Brecken had to go have emergency surgery. So I drove all the way out there to get him because I trust my vet over anybody else's vet. I will not let anybody take my dogs to a different vet aside from my vet without my approval. And they were not capable of taking Brecken to his vet, which was an hour and a half, or maybe a little bit over an hour and a half from their house. So I went and got Brecken on my own, and I'm like, okay, accidents happen, but unfortunately, this is what's going to happen. So unfortunately, Brecken had to go have emergency surgery, which makes him incapable of having or being in a dog show now. He no longer fits the prospect of a conformation show dog, which is very unfortunate. I am very, very disappointed. Brecken he still is. He's my beautiful black and cream, my long hair black and cream. But unfortunately, what he needed surgery on has made him incapable of being in a dog show. So it's very, very unfortunate that happened and spending the money that I did on Brecken. But just because that happened does not mean Brecken can't compete in different ways. He just can't do dog shows and compete in conformation now. So what we do now is we start working towards a different, sporting event. So I think with Brecken, he's very shy, but I think if I build up his confidence a lot more than what it already is, he'll be able to do fast cat. And we've been working with Ruby and Cappuccino to compete for Fast Cat locally in November. So I think maybe I just need to start working with Brecken and see where we go from there. But unfortunately, Brecken did have to have emergency surgery and all this hundreds and hundreds of dollars later because my vet knows me and he knows when I'm up there. Luckily, we weren't charged a totally arm and a leg like what somebody normally would have been charged. But he did have to have emergency surgery. He's been on medication for a little bit. For almost 2 weeks now. He goes to get his stitches out on Monday. Brecken's going to get his stitches out on Monday. And for some reason, so I knew Brecken after the Dying Light character, Brecken, that got a head injury. Why is he following this? Even though it's not a head injury that he got, he's following this injury pattern with Brecken from the video game, which is very unfortunate, and I think it's kind of ironic. But he is doing better. He did hate his medication. He did try to go outside. He couldn't go outside for 2 weeks. He could not go get in the water for 2 weeks. He could not have a bath. So I'm looking forward to giving him his bath finally. I've been wiping him down with wet wipes or with wipes as best as I could. But yeah, so Brecken had emergency surgery. I'm not talking about a neuter. He had emergency surgery. And accidents do happen. This does not affect his quality of life. Does not affect his quality of life, luckily. He can still compete in different sports, just not conformation. He's not eligible for conformation anymore. So, if I actually got him interested in Fast Cat, he can do Fast Cat. We might try Rally. I'm not really sure, but I think we will try Rally because it is a much more laid-back sport compared to Fast Cat. He's very, very smart. He listens very, very well. So we're going to see where we go from here. We are going to see where we go from here with Brecken, and hopefully, everything ends up the way it's supposed to. But unfortunately, that's where we are. It sucks. It really sucks. But luckily, Brecken's doing good. He has climbed out of his pen multiple times. His pen's right over there by my desk. That's who I keep looking at is Brecken because he's right over there. But stitches come out on Monday, which I'm very excited for. But anyways, yeah. So Brecken had emergency surgery. He is doing better. I think I have a few pictures of him sleeping on his back. But anyways, accidents do happen. Luckily, it was not worse and more damaging, and we did not lose Brecken. But I didn't think we'd lose him. It wasn't that like grievous of an injury where you'd have to be hospitalized, but enough that he had to have surgery. But welcome to the life of being a pet owner, just in general. Things don't always go as you plan. Oh goodness gracious! But anyways, that's it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. And as usual, you guys keep reckoning your thoughts. Even though he goes Monday, you never know what could happen. Knock on wood. But thank you guys so much for watching. And as usual, you guys, I'll see you guys next time in the next video. See you guys later.